Hello, my friend. I'm so excited to dive into this week's podcast episode for you on this week's astrology. It's going to be an eventful week. We have Scorpio season starting this week. I'm excited to dive into the transits of this week for you to know what to expect, what energy to embrace, what shifts to really look out for. I'll also be going into the topic of limerence and why you could be obsessed with your ex, why you could be obsessed with a specific person, where does this stem from, where does this come from, and also the astrology behind it. I will then end off this podcast episode with a tarot reading of what energy to embrace, what energy to let go of. So let's just dive right into it. So before we begin, I do want to mention I only have a few spots left for birth chart readings for October. I won't be doing any readings in November, so now is the perfect time to book. You can save your spot if you want to just dive deeper into your relationships, your career, your family patterns, your life path, your strengths, your challenges, your blind spots, and really deeply understand more of who you are in terms of your birth chart. Now, starting off with the beginning of this week, Scorpio season begins on the 22nd. Now, on the same day, right before the sun moves into Scorpio, we have the sun in Libra square Pluto in Capricorn. This is very interesting. This looks like we need to make a change in terms of a relationship in our life. So, I don't know about you, but that full moon in Aries was quite intense. Last week, you could still be feeling that energy, and that full moon really brought up some old wounds around relationships. This is why I want to focus on this topic for this week because I think it's super important. Now, with the sun in Libra square to Pluto in Capricorn, this brings up some obsession in terms of relationships. It also confronts us with making a decision of, is there a relationship we need to let go of? Is there a relationship we need to purge from our life? Do we feel this intensity around a certain relationship? Maybe you're getting this energy from a specific person. Maybe it's something you're just observing in terms of a different relationship dynamic in your life. So I will say we are kind of confronted with this energy of trying to change how we approach relationships on the 22nd. Be aware of this. This could make us a little bit more obsessive. This could make you want to keep looking back at old photos of a certain relationship. This could make us really stuck in a toxic cycle. So I do recommend to try to distract yourself with any healthy habits you can do for this, because this could be going for a walk, this could be meditation, this could be journaling, this could be listening to a really uplifting, happy song. That can be really helpful right now. Yet there's something here with this transit of what do you still need to let go of? What power struggle or even ego struggle in a relationship dynamic do you need to put to rest? On the same day, we have Mercury in Scorpio trine Saturn in Pisces. So this is lovely, this is supportive, this is showing me that you could be in a place where you're emotionally processing things in a more structured, stable way. This looks like maybe you set up a therapy appointment. This could look like you are crying things out, but you're feeling so much better about this, you're feeling more relief. Maybe you call up a friend and you're having a really deep emotional conversation and you're kind of really happy about this because even though it might be a hard conversation, it's flowing really well. There's this nice, lovely flow between your thinking and communication when it comes to your emotions and what you feel within you. So you're handling this a lot better, and it's really helping you connect to a good routine that you know can emotionally take care of you. I love seeing this. I love seeing this. This is really helpful for us. Also happening the same day is Venus in Sagittarius is trine the North Node in Aries. This is really lovely. This is exciting. This is us really looking towards the future of your life path, your mission, your fulfillment, and perhaps you're getting an opportunity around this. Maybe a company reaches out to you, maybe you get an idea of taking that trip for yourself, like a solo trip. And this might be the day where you look up flights. This could also look like going to the gym and doing something really active and passionate and motivational. Maybe you hit up a workout class and it just feels really energizing. Like there's good music, you're just feeling fulfilled, you're feeling really, really uplifted, and you're seeing, okay, this is something I want to do every day. This is something I want to get into a really good place with. This is the energy of Venus in Sagittarius trine the North Node in Aries. I see this as a very active energy. This could also look like a really fun date that really inspires you to do something for yourself. There is this direct motivation with this energy of tuning into your own desires. And you're getting this opportunity, maybe perhaps either in your money or your relationships, to tune into this desire for yourself. So this doesn't necessarily mean you can get a financial reward. This is still possible, but this could also just mean that you want to spend your money in a more fun way, or you're just feeling really good about a financial decision or a relationship that is motivational and passionate and driven. This could look like hiring a mentor or coach, for example. So I love this energy for us. Very inspirational. And this can really help us understand more of what we are diving deeper into for our life path. So pay attention to what happens for you on the 22nd. Now, with Scorpio season beginning on the 22nd, I want to talk briefly about Scorpio season. So the energy of Libra season was really light, it was flirty. However, it was very chaotic and messy and actually a little bit more intense than maybe some of us anticipated because of that eclipse season, because eclipse season can be quite chaotic. Now, with the sun moving into Scorpio, we're going to feel this shift in terms of focusing on our emotions. So this is going to bring in a more moody vibe for us. We're going to be seeking to really understand our shadow during this season. We're looking into what have you been hiding from yourself? What have others been hiding from you? Is there any secrets that may be revealed to you at this time? Scorpio season really helps us think of a rebirth for ourselves. This is a time where you could feel the intensity of your emotions a lot deeper. You could feel like you want to go deep with the relationships you're in. Maybe you want to explore difficult topics, taboo topics. Maybe you want to learn astrology. Maybe you want to have a really heartfelt conversation with a friend about their childhood and you want to be there for them. Maybe you want to explore intimacy and what that might look like for you. How has that changed? Maybe you're looking to see which parts of yourself do you still need to shed? Which fears do you still need to let go of? This is going to be really important because the thing with Scorpio is it's ruled by Mars and Pluto. Now, what I've seen with this energy is it's really important to not be reactive to certain situations because you could be propelled to act more in Scorpio season based on a situation. And it's really important to shift this into a more proactive state. It's really important to shift this energy to thinking ahead, being investigative, but also knowing that you do not need to act on things right away. Scorpio energy is super magnetic. It is super intense. And what I've seen with a lot of Scorpios throughout my life, if you don't know, I've only dated Scorpios throughout my life, is they love so deeply, so intensely, so passionately, and this can be super addicting. So I want to caution you during this time because you could just feel things on a visceral level. You could feel your emotions and it could overwhelm you to a certain extent. Now, when this happens, it's important to not numb your feelings. It's important to actually feel your feelings and not hide your emotions from yourself. The interesting thing about Scorpio is it is a scorpion, so there's a protective shell for the scorpion. And what I've seen with this is sometimes Scorpio energy can make us hide what we're actually feeling because it becomes so intense. And if you bottle it up in this shell, it's going to explode. So I really want you to focus on emotionally processing things in a healthy way, crying things out when you feel things, and you do not need to dwell on those emotions though. I think the biggest struggle of Scorpio energy is letting things go. There's this tightness with Scorpio energy, especially with that Pluto energy of I need to hold on to this, I need to restrict myself, I need to hyper focus, when in reality, detachment is going to bring you so much peace and so much freedom. Sometimes we think that the more we focus on something, the more likely we'll get it. However, the universe doesn't work that way. I've seen this repeatedly in my life where constantly the more I hyper focus on something and the more I go and push, more, which is also the dark side of Mars, by the way. Very, very important to note. If you constantly are hustling, go, and hyper focusing, that's when you burn out. That's when things just aren't working. You're forcing things when in reality, you need to take a step back and start receiving. Maybe you need to rest, maybe you need to recharge, yet detaching from a situation can give you so much relief, right? And I think that is really, really important for us to remember during Scorpio season. Do not block your emotions. Emotions make you human. It's honestly a gift to feel so deeply, and sometimes we can get so afraid when so much comes up to the surface. Yet I really want to emphasize that it's so important for us to remind ourselves that yes, you should feel, but you should limit yourself in terms of not getting stuck in a cycle, not spiraling, right? Not constantly thinking about one thing. It's great to have certain distractions that are healthy for us so that we can recenter and focus on ourselves, putting that energy back on ourselves. Now moving on to October 25th. Mars in Cancer is sextile to Uranus in Taurus. This is a really fun energy. This is a really comforting energy. This looks like maybe you go to an unexpected restaurant and you're having a great time. This could look like a spontaneous date. This could look like you redecorated your apartment and you're feeling really, really good about this. This could also look like maybe a family member surprises you and you're getting a breakthrough around how you work and take action. So maybe you're channeling your emotions in a way that gives you an idea of more stability and what that looks like to you. There can be some really fun, flirty energy with this. This could be like flirting with someone unexpectedly. So this could be quite a few different things. Expect the unexpected with Uranus energy because Uranus loves to surprise you. Yet I do see this as a more lovely surprise for us. I see this more so as maybe either in terms of work or dating, you get a breakthrough that helps you move through any difficult emotions or helps you understand what to do next. So I'm loving this energy. I honestly think this is going to be a really fun week. And those are our transits for the week. If you haven't listened to the full moon in Aries podcast episode, go do that because that one was really juicy, really good, super important for the energy of this week because we are still carrying through that relief. So if you're not feeling that fun energy of this week, it's because there's still something from the full moon in Aries that you still need to release and let go. So we are carrying that heaviness of that intense full moon with us this week. Now moving into the topic of this week, I wanted to focus on limerence. And when I first heard about this term, I think it just gave me this light bulb moment of, oh my goodness, this is what I've been feeling for years. I felt this, especially after my second breakup, for at least 2 years after the breakup, and that was a lot. That was overwhelming, yet it really helped me understand something that I needed to heal. So I want to dive deeper into the energetics of this and more so the astrology behind this. I'm not a psychologist at all, so I want to preface that by saying this. So I'm going to read to you the definition of limerence by Psychology Today. Limerence is a state of involuntary obsession with another person. The experience of limerence is different from love or lust in that it is based on the uncertainty that the person you desire, called the limerent object in literature, also desires you. Since limerence is the desire to be desired, it is a cognitive as well as physical and an emotional experience. As the focus of limerence is whether or not the object of desire reciprocates the feelings rather than actually falling in love with that person, it is almost always one-sided. I honestly think this is a perfect topic to talk about for Scorpio season. And this is because I really relate limerence to Pluto energy. Pluto is the planet of death, transformation, and rebirth. It is also the planet of survival and obsession. So what's really, really important to note with Pluto energy is that it can bring up a lot from our past. It is a generational planet, and it can cause us to really fixate on a specific person, on a specific topic, on a specific object. It can make us so addicted to that obsession if you do not know how to handle your Pluto energy. Now, not only do you have Pluto in your birth chart, you also have transiting Pluto affecting your birth chart, which is really important to look at when understanding limerence and understanding why we can get so obsessed around a specific person, a relationship, an ex, a topic of study, etc. I've seen this for myself for all of my romantic relationships. I'm very Pluto dominant in my birth chart, which is one of the reasons I've attracted so many Scorpios into my life, was that Pluto dominance. Yet it is really, really fascinating when I look at the other aspects to this, but really, really great to understand when looking at your birth chart. Now, I am not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist. I'm going to give you my personal experience with limerence and what I had to learn to heal through limerence so that it doesn't affect me, it doesn't overwhelm me, it doesn't take over my life, which I felt as though I was a prisoner to limerence for years. Not only after the breakup of my second ex, yet also I've experienced this throughout high school for certain relationships, certain crushes. I've experienced this at the beginning of my first relationship. It's really, really fascinating. And I'm going to be really real and honest and vulnerable with what I'm sharing. To be completely honest, I am very embarrassed by limerence because it's not fun to admit that you were obsessed by a certain person, yet I know it could help someone because I was feeling so stuck in terms of my mind, in terms of my body, in terms of my emotions because of limerence. Because I was so obsessed that I was supposed to be with a certain person, or if I just get into a relationship, then it will solve all my problems. Who's heard that before? Because honestly, that was a lot of my life. That was a lot of me growing up. And I'm going to go back to my second breakup. So after my breakup, I went to my astrology mentor and I got a birth chart reading from her. And it honestly really shook me to my core. It really opened me up to understanding more of why I was so drawn to my ex and why I kept repeating certain relationship cycles and patterns with this limerence. And in that birth chart reading, she talked a lot about my father because my father passed away when I was 11, and it was a really devastating, traumatic experience for me. I had lost my best friend. My father loved so deeply. He loved so wholeheartedly. Yet, the problem was his death was unexpected. He also suffered from schizophrenia. And the thing is, with schizophrenia, he was constantly running away and coming back to my family. When my father died, he was actually separated from my mother. And I know before this, there was a lot of conflict in their relationship. My mom was very anxious. My dad was very avoidant. It's clear to me now, after reading a lot about relationship psychology, attachment styles, which I highly recommend you doing your own research, going to therapy. I did go to therapy for years. Yet, I think what was interesting about this birth chart reading was it took me back to my relationship with my dad. And even though I wanted to talk about my breakup, I went back to how much I missed my dad. And I started to realize, okay, this is what I'm actually feeling. This is the connection. My ex really did remind me of my father, and I did love my ex for who he was, yet it was more so the feeling of me being abandoned by my ex and me feeling abandoned by my father, who constantly ran away, came back, ran away, came back throughout most of my life, through most of me growing up. And of course, when he passed away too, that really triggered my abandonment wound. You can kind of see my father in my birth chart really, really prominently. I have Chiron in Leo, and this is my deepest wound wherever Chiron is in your chart. So for myself, I know this is a story I have to repeatedly share, even if it is really uncomfortable, even if it is hard, because I know someone else needs to hear this. Now, going back to limerence and how making these connections really helped me in terms of healing my limerence for specific people in my life. For myself, if it was a specific person, there are a few questions I really had to ask myself so that I wouldn't hyperfixate on a specific person. And I also want to mention, when I look at my birth chart for my exes, I could tell that yes, they could potentially fit into my birth chart. I understand why I attracted them. Yet, your birth chart can show you your ideal partner. Which partners would actually support you and your growth? Which partners are actually really good for your life path? For myself, I started to realize, after researching astrology, after learning astrology, after launching my astrology practice, I started to realize that my exes weren't really falling into that ideal partner position in my life. And Of course, no one is perfect. I want to preface this by saying that. Yet it showed me that you can't just have love. Is love really enough? And when I was younger, I used to think love is all you need. You just need love. That's it. However, if someone doesn't know how to show that love to you, how to express it to you, if you both want different things in life, if you do not feel that love from the other person, even though they could love you, is that love enough? And I had to really learn that no, love isn't enough. It's really, really important to reflect on this for yourself if you're currently single. Some questions to ask yourself are, does this person align with me and my values? Do you want the same things out of life? Do you want the same future as this person? A great one that one of my friends had mentioned was, if someone compared you to that person, would you feel really grateful or would you feel insulted in any way? That's a really great one as well. Another question to ask is, did you actually fall in love with this person or the potential of them? Now, I want to give you some really actionable steps to heal through limerence because I haven't really seen this a lot. And I want to share what has helped me the most, other than looking at my birth chart, other than really understanding this in an astrological perspective. First things first is to do no contact. This is super important, right? So do not message this person, say you need space, unfollow them, block them, mute them. You can still be kind and set boundaries. You setting a boundary with this person is the kindest thing you can do for yourself. It can be really hard because when you're in love and then you go through a breakup or you get obsessed with a certain idea or image of a person, it can feel like an addiction that you have to heal. And this brings me to my second recommendation, is to have a support system. You need community. You need other people around you. You need others who have experienced this or just help you feel seen through what you're feeling, right? If other people can validate your emotions, it can really help you move through them. It's good to not constantly talk about it, but it is important to talk about. It's finding a balance of what works better for you. Another thing to do is to distract yourself with healthy habits. So if you start to think about that person and you're going through a cycle, what can you do to shift your energy back? How can you prioritize yourself and not that other person? Sometimes we put those people on a pedestal, and that's where this obsession comes in. So there's a few ways to counteract this. Now, one thing I like to do in terms of healthy habits to distract myself is a meditation, journaling, taking a walk, making art, doing a ritual, going to a class, working out, listening to uplifting music. Doing something that really distracts you can really, really help. And for you to catch yourself, you need to be self-aware enough to catch yourself. So meditation is highly recommended for this. I also recommend cord cutting rituals. This has helped me so much, so immensely. If you feel like the other person's energy is still with you and you just want to let it go, you want to release it, a cord cutting ritual can be super effective. I do cord cutting rituals about 2 times a month. It's necessary to cleanse your energy as much as you can so that you don't get stuck and think, okay, I'm feeling this and this is all my energy. Sometimes the energy of your ex can still stay with you. May that be through social media, may that be through you're just feeling someone's energy trying to come towards you. May this be through connecting with other friends and their energy is on you. Cord cutting really helps you let things go. It really helps clear your energy. So I highly, highly recommend this. And if you need a cord cutting ritual, we just did one in the Moon Sign Creative Community Full Moon in Aries event. You could watch the replay. It's honestly so powerful to do a cord cutting ritual where you use your hands because you're physically learning something in a different way. You're physically letting something go from your body, and it helps you disassociate in the best possible way. So this can really help you detach from someone else's energy. Yet there are some free cord cutting rituals on YouTube as well. Now the next thing I want to talk about is if you are letting go of an ex or a specific person, I want you to write a list to yourself of why things didn't work out and write out what you liked about that person and how you can give those things to yourself. So for example, I remember I was so hyperfixated on my ex because we would do photo shoots together and I would over romanticize this process. However, I have a lot of creative friends, and since my breakup, I started to really focus on my creativity through photo shoots with different photographers, with friends, with just having fun in this creative expression and allowing myself to know that I don't have to depend on a specific person for this. I can have this amazing creative experience with other people. I can have this deep, fulfilling process with myself. So this is just one example. Going back to me understanding the connection between my relationship patterns and my father, this helped me really understand why I'm feeling limerence. And sometimes understanding why you're feeling the feeling can help you, not all the time. Yet for myself, I realized the limerence was me missing my father. The limerence was a generational cycle of not getting the love that I thought I deserved and thinking that love was going to run away from me. So for myself, I had to really take a step back and understand that it will take some time to heal from a relationship. Not everyone heals their generational patterns. Sometimes it gets better, and even talking to my mom recently, she still has a lot to heal from that death. And this death in our lives took place when I was 11. So this was 22 years ago. My mom still is healing through that. So I just want to say that if you're listening to this, I am so proud of you for doing the healing work. I'm so proud of you for wanting to better yourself, wanting to heal through any generational cycles, wanting to show yourself more love and compassion, because honestly, love is going to save us all. The more love you can give to yourself, the more love you can give to others afterwards, because you have to first show that love to yourself, which I know I hate saying, sometimes that's a cliche. However, once I started to really direct my focus to the love I can give to myself through the things I could do, through how I can refocus my energy and heal through painful abandonment wounds that have been with me and my ancestors for hundreds of years, I want you to know that the healing work is so worth it. It will take some time. Don't rush the process. It's so easy to love you. I want to say that. And if this is something you want to explore in a birth chart reading, just to understand which relationships are better for you, which family patterns are you healing from, and which generational cycles are you breaking so that you can lead a more fulfilling, loving, peaceful life, then you can check out my birth chart readings. I'm so happy to help. I'd love to explore your birth chart with you. So I hope this topic really helped you this week. Now let's get into your tarot reading for this week. So the first card out, we have the Eight of Wands reverse. So the Eight of Wands reverse is showing me that there's some communication you have to let go of. This could be going no contact with a certain person. This could be really trying to get a lot of thoughts and ideas and energy out of your body. I see this more so as you're having a conversation with yourself because there's a lot of energy within you that you need to release. So I highly recommend journaling things out to see what comes up for you right now, especially with the topic for this week. And I really see this as an opportunity to go within and to show yourself that you have more passion and drive for yourself. What really sparks joy for you? What did you love doing as a kid? I am hearing that that's going to really help you this week to kind of let go of scattering your energy. I do think you might need some more time to rest though, because I pulled reversals for all three cards this week. Also, I specifically asked what we need to know about a certain relationship. So this could be a relationship in terms of a romantic relationship for you, a friendship, or a business partnership, client, family member, whatever comes up for you, whichever person comes up for you. This is your message. The next card out is the Fool card reverse. So you could be really frustrated that you're not getting a new beginning with a certain relationship. Maybe you're waiting for a romantic partner to come in. Maybe you are looking for your partner to kind of show you a different form of love that you're seeking, or perhaps you're looking for a new friendship that really uplifts you and motivates you, or a certain client relationship that gets you really, really excited. You're feeling a little bit disheartened because you're wondering, okay, where is this relationship? Why am I not seeing this? This is a card of knowing that it is coming. However, you need to have this fresh perspective within yourself first. You need to clear your energy and detach from a specific outcome. That was more channeled, so I really, really see this. The next card out is the Ace of Swords reverse. So I'm asking why we're not seeing this manifestation in the current external world. The Ace of Swords reverse is saying that there's a lot that you might still need to process from the past, but also within you. Maybe there's something that you need to tell yourself. There's a narrative that you have to let go of. There's a storyline. I'm really hearing storyline that you need to rewrite for yourself so that you can call this in for yourself. So you're letting go of speaking to yourself in a harsh way. This is a good reminder to say loving things to yourself. Make sure you're hyping yourself up. Make sure you are telling yourself that you're beautiful, you're attractive, you're magnetic. Make sure you're doing these things for yourself. I'm going to leave a link to my overnight affirmations if you want to listen to really encouraging, uplifting words of affirmation while you sleep to rewire your subconscious mind. This has really helped me in the past, so I'm going to leave a link to that down below. I asked what our block is right now, and we got the Hierophant. So this card is telling me that the block is maybe you think things need to look a certain way. Maybe there's some pressure from your family, or maybe you are feeling a bit trapped by societal pressures, by societal expectations. The block right now is there's something that you're feeling restricted from, and I see this more so as either a mindset or society in general that you have to kind of break free from, that you have to not be afraid of what other people think. That's going to be super, super important for this. Your advice card is the Page of Pentacles. So this is a slow process. This is showing love and affection in small steps every day. This is not a rush through things really quickly process. This is a card of taking your time, sending a text, making sure you're doing things in the tangible physical world. If you are upset that you're not getting any dates, but you're not on a dating app, or you're not going out at an event, or you're not meeting new people, I want you to ask yourself, how are you showing up and taking action in the external world? If you're looking for new clients, but you're not promoting your work or selling your offers, how would they know what you have to offer? Really, really important for this week. Small steps every day will help you achieve your goals, will help you draw this person into your life. Really make sure you're reminding yourself of this. Now, your oracle cards are release. So this is the week to let things go. I'm hoping those points when talking about limerence really helped. I'm hoping those tangible action steps really helped. This is the week to purge, to really declutter your physical space, your emotional space, your mental space. This is going to be really, really helpful so that you can call in your manifestations. The next oracle card is make the best out of it. Sometimes it's important to just accept that maybe it's not the right time. Maybe it's going to take a bit more time, and that can be really frustrating. Maybe you were dealt a really awful deck of hands, and you kind of have to make the best out of what you currently have. I see this card as really focus on what you currently have and soak in that gratitude. Soak in what do you currently have in your life that you love so much. Focus on that feeling. The last oracle card is it's okay to feel feelings. Really important. Feel your feelings because you just need to emotionally process them. That's going to be super, super helpful for you right now. Your last card is the Waxing Crescent. So this is a card from the Cosmic Magic Oracle deck by Valerie Tehega, one of my friends, and this card is beautiful. This card really speaks on motivation. And this is the week to really see what motivates you right now. Some of the lovely questions she has in her book are, what are some things that make you feel motivated? What can you do to encourage yourself and be your own cheerleader? I love this. I hope this helped. I feel like this was such a strong message for this week. Very channeled. I was super inspired. I hope it gave you some clarity and just a better understanding of understanding your own generational cycles and patterns and limerence in general. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I also reopened my Boldest You Mentee program. You can apply to that if you want help in growing your spiritual wellness business in 2025. Applications are now open. It's super, super exciting. It's called The Boldest You. Honestly, one of my favorite programs. I'm super, super excited for it. And if you'd like a private birth chart reading with me, I'll share more info on that down below. You can check out the testimonials and reviews. I'm so grateful. I've read over 200 birth charts and I love the feedback I've received from them. Happy Scorpio season, friend. I'm sending you so much love. Just know that the universe has your back, and with peace and love, take care.